Are you looking for some activities for your kids to do while they're cooped up inside when it's winter? I don't know about you, but my kids are going a little stir crazy with this winter. It's been so cold, they can't really go outside and play. When they're at school, they still have indoor recess, and they just need to get some of their energy out. I need to keep them occupied and busy inside the house. So I'm gonna share a few ideas with you on things that you can do to help keep your kids engaged in doing fun things rather than climbing your walls during the winter. I'm Darcy from darcyandbrian.com and from stayathomegamers.com. I'm going to start off with some board games, but I have a couple other ideas for you as well that are outside of board games, but we're going to start with a few of those. So some of the types of games that we like to play with the kids when they're feeling very cooped up in the house, they're games that require them to be using movement or their body in some way in order to play the game. One of the favorites that my kids have right now is Ice Cool. This is a game with penguins that you're flicking around in a penguin classroom and you're trying to get them through these doorways to collect fish tokens, or you're trying to run into the other penguins if you are essentially the hall monitor chasing them around. It's the kind of game that lets them move around, and they've got to also concentrate at the same time on where they're flicking their little penguin. My kids really like it. Another one is Sticky Chameleons. In this one, you're using these sticky tongues to try to pick up certain bug cards. So again, it's not a game where they're having to just sit still and play. They get to move around a bit. They can get a little silly because this game is kind of silly. And you're not really taking turns. You're taking turns to roll the dice to figure out which bug you're trying to catch to eat with your sticky chameleon tongue. Otherwise, everyone is flinging their tongue at the same time. And this one is definitely good for younger kids because there's no reading involved in this one. Yogi is another one. This one, it's kind of giving Twister a twist. Yoga, you're kind of getting yourself into a human pretzel. You are needing to follow what the cards are saying and get yourself into some silly positions. So while they're not jumping and running around, they are having to move their bodies around and trying to do silly poses. You don't really have to keep score. It doesn't have to be a huge competition. It can just be silly. But this is another good one when you are stuck inside a lot. Another dexterity game that we really enjoy is Shaky Manor. In this one, you have a tray with some little figures, like you have little ghost pieces and little snakes and things like that, and you're shaking them around to try to get them into the correct room in your tray. So again, it's not a game where they have to be sitting super still. They do need to be focused on what they are doing and how they are moving their tray. It keeps them engaged. It's a lot of fun. Again, you don't have to have a big competition with keeping score and stuff. You can just be playing it. Shaky Manor is another one that does not require any reading. Another favorite right now is 5 Minute Dungeon. Technically, this is not a dexterity game. It is not a movement kind of game. However, they don't have to sit still for taking turns. This is the kind of game that you are all participating in at the same time. It's a real-time cooperative card game, so they have to be paying attention throughout the whole time, and you have a 5-minute timer that you're trying to race, though if you have younger kids, you certainly don't have to have the timer, or you can make it longer, whatever you would choose to do. It's very exciting, and it just feels like there's just so much activity going on, even though you're pretty much sitting around the table trying to match your cards to the symbols on the bosses and stuff that you are trying to defeat. My 6-year-old loves this game. He's been asking to play it almost daily, and it's funny because he will say like, my heart is just, it's beating so fast, because it's like he's just so excited and stuff and trying to beat the 5-minute timer. But he loves it. He has a great time playing it. So this is another good one when you're feeling kind of cooped up. A few other ideas of things that you can do when you're feeling stuck inside when it's too cold for the kids to go out and play is obviously you could go to an indoor play place if you have some in your area. I know that that's not always affordable, especially when you're being hit with lots of this kind of weather like we are, where we've had more snow days than I can remember. That my kids have never had this many snow days since they started going to school. So one of the things that we like to do is have them watch videos on Go Noodle. We go to their YouTube channel. It's or they do have a website. They have a lot of videos that are great for shake breaks for kids. So there's different movement songs that they follow the directions to, and they dance along. There are other learning songs where they just incorporate some movement. It's something that is used at my kids' school for some of their shake breaks, especially for my son in kindergarten. And so my kids are used to Go Noodle, and they have some favorites, like they love the Popsico song and things like that. And my little guy likes the Bones, Bones, Bones one, where it's like a skeleton dancing and he dances along with it, and they're identifying different bones in the skeletal system. So that's another option, because you just need a clear little bit of space in your living room or wherever you want them to watch it, and they can get some of their wiggles out. Another option is playing Just Dance. So it is a video game, but it's not a type of video game where the kids are just sitting on the couch staring at a screen. They have to get up and dance along and move with it. So it's another option when they're feeling very full of energy and they're just so cooped up and they need something to do. So that is another option, and it's fun for the whole family to do together. If you've done any of these activities or played any of these games, drop a comment, let us know which ones are your kids' favorites. If you have any other suggestions of things to do to keep from feeling a little crazy when it's just too cold outside to go anywhere, please drop those suggestions in the comments as well, because we want to make sure that other parents have a whole lot of resources for things that they can do to keep their kids occupied and busy. Thanks so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, follow, do all of the things, and we will see you at the next game.